just before we start, make sure we have pen and paper, and just make sure we have our notes from our homework, and we are remembering our solos that we have created. So, just for the starter, I just want you to mind map the different styles in Sutra. Okay, so you should have been able to find this just by looking up styles in Sutra, so you should have already done this for your homework, but just mind mapping a few different styles and write them down. So just pause the video and write them down. Okay, I've got a list here, so that includes conceptual, integral interaction with set design, use of gesture to communicate ideas, use of solo and duet, pedestrian movement, yoga or extremely flexible movements, kung fu, fluid and gentle quality of tai chi, synchronized gesture, use of kung fu weapons, mutual coexistence with music, use of transitions, use of unison and canon, displaced manipulation and narrative thread. So if you've got any of those, that's great. Hopefully we should have got most of those. Let's move on. So our learning outcomes for today. Number 1, to describe the styles of movement in Sutra. Number 2, to learn movement inspired by Sidi, Larbi, Cherkaoui. And our extra challenge is to be able to use fluid transitions when combining phrases. So noticing that fluid transitions, so that use of transitions that we've just picked out of the styles in Sutra. And then literacy focus to use subject terminology when describing our movement. Okay, so the first task I want you to do is recap your solos that you've done for homework. So that was 1 or 2 styles from Sutra. So just spend about 5 minutes just recapping that practically. And then on your piece of paper, I want you to write down a short explanation of how your solo shows this or these styles. Okay, so thinking about, you've either chosen 1 style or 2 styles, thinking about what it is in your solo that shows that. So I've given you a few questions and a sentence starter. So what are you showing, when are you showing it, and how does it show that? Okay, so we've got the what, the where, and the how. And then I've just given you a little sentence starter. My solo shows blank. This is in the part where I blank. This is because. So thinking about what it is you're actually showing, where in your phrase you are showing it, and then why. What does it add? So spend about 8 minutes doing that. Once you've completed that, I want you to learn the Cherkaoui phrase that I've created. So this is on SharePoint. There's the instructions there as to where to find it and what folder it's in. But it's just a short phrase, just learn that, just work with the space that you've got in your rooms. And then, once you've learnt the phrase, I want you to add your phrase and my phrase together, using that use of transitions from the Sutra styles. And then the extra challenge is to make the transitions fluid and smooth between the two, so we shouldn't notice when you're going into the new one. So you can either have yours first and go into mine, or you can do it the other way around. It's completely up to you. And then we'll come back together and we'll just, to the best of our ability, show our phrases, so the 2 phrases put together with our transitions. We'll show them and just give each other a little bit of feedback as best we can.